Hi, dit is Sagid van 3FM en we zijn op dit moment op Pinkpop Festival. En je kijkt naar een interview met Josh en Tyler van 21 Pilots. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Excited.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. You guys were here in 2014 for the first time. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
How would you describe the 21 Pilots from 8 years ago?
Oh my gosh. A lot's changed since then, I think.
I think we're probably more handsome now.
That's what they call a glow up.
A glow up.
We've done it.
Do you also feel that about your music? Do you feel like the music has blown up?
No, it's gotten worse significantly.
Yeah, downhill.
But if you have to describe the music from 8 years ago, or like the band, like you two, like how would you describe it 8 years ago?
8 years ago, I think kind of oblivious in some ways, and which I think was good. I think that we just kind of went after things, and we would try things that we probably wouldn't now. But that's just looking back and seeing, you look back in retrospect and see things differently. But that was such a fun time, though. I think
I think we were just always never knew what to expect. Everything was new, and because of that, an added level of nerves. I mean, we'll be slightly nervous to go on tonight. That's natural. But
Yeah.
we kind of at least have an idea of what to expect. In 2014, it was all so new, and which made it exciting too.
How do you make sure that making music doesn't become work and that it stays a passion? Because that's like what you have in the early days, right? When you're young, you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's coming your way, you're oblivious. But I think that can be an asset. Like, how do you keep that spirit alive?
Well, there's something naturally. It happens already. When you're writing a song, you don't know if it's going to be good. You don't know if it's going to make the record. You don't know if anyone's ever going to hear it. And so naturally, you start to see something like working on a record or working on a song as this may be all for naught. So let me find the value inside of what it is, what the experience is, what the exercise is. And that's not like work. Most work, you know exactly what you're doing, and you know there's input and there's output. And so I would say for me and for both of us, creating music never feels like work. If anything, it feels like the cherry on top to what it is we do for a living. Now the traveling and the all the logistics that go into getting to festivals and putting together a tour, that can start to feel like, okay, this is what I do for a living. But with that, it's still an incredible job. I mean, we're so lucky, really.
Yeah. What's so admirable about you guys is the bond that you guys have with your fans. I think one of you described, you said that your music basically tries to create an escape for your fans. And I'm wondering, with the new record, how would you describe the world that you've created with Scales and Icy for your fans to escape to?
a lot of people, when we put out this album, said that it feels like a happier album, in which I kind of I've already said, but I sort of agree and disagree, because I think that there's as much kind of happy sounds on, optimistic sounds on previous records as there are on this one. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think if that's people's takeaway, then I think that that's okay, because it was released during a time that was pretty dark around the entire world, where, everybody was kind of unsure what was going to happen, and if somebody was going to, get sick or die that's close to you, a loved one or yourself, in the middle of this pandemic. So I think if it was a takeaway for people to feel a little bit, to even just kind of listen to something and kind of take your mind off of, what was going on, then I think that's a good thing.
How do you guys escape?
He runs away from home all the time. I'm going away from home, and his mom's like, "You don't live here anymore. You don't have to keep running away."
And then I hop on my moped and I'm out.
And you're out. You guys also talk about like being a role model and how important that is to you guys. But I can imagine that having or bringing a lot of pressure. Is that just an assumption, a wrong assumption that I'm making?
No, I think from the beginning we've thought about that. There are definitely people, and really any fan base that will look up to musicians and kind of sometimes emulate, actions or behaviors. And we're both older brothers. We're both the oldest of we both have 3 younger siblings, and so we've kind of always felt like we gotta try and help raise these younger kids, and it can be challenging, but I think I feel pretty grateful for feeling some pressure from people to just make sure that we're both kind of living our lives in a way that people can look at and want to do the same.
Yeah. But I'm also the oldest sibling. What I missed sometimes was looking up to somebody else, somebody who could like be my role model.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to? Who do you go to for advice? Because you're human. Like sometimes you don't have all the answers.
Pretty much just Tyler for me.
Yeah.
I don't look up to anybody.
You're just the almighty.
I would say we definitely confide in each other a lot because no one's going through anything similar to what I'm going through than him, and I think our dads are, a big part in our lives still, and there's a lot of things that they don't know, which is like, I don't know, you grow up looking at your parents as, the know-it-alls, and then when you get older, you look at them slightly different and realize that they're just trying to figure it out too, and so in that sense, I think I've started to see my parents as friends.
Okay.
And friends that have just lived longer and may have a little bit more advice. So I'm always picking their brain on what they think about things.
I found that realization a little bit heartbreaking when I was growing up. Yeah. That I thought like, oh my gosh, they're humans too. They don't know what they're doing.
They're idiots.
Yeah, right?
We probably know more than them at our age than they did when they're our age.
But don't you think that our kids will say the same thing about us?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's just, with tech, like now he's a dad, I'm not a dad, but now you can get online and search, symptoms of whatever, or try and find what's wrong with, or just kind of, you can find answers to a lot of things just using the internet that our parents didn't even have that resource. So in some ways it's easier, and with the evolution of technology, it can become harder too.
Yeah. Last question. You guys are going to hit the stage later on today. What is your favorite song of the new record to play live?
Ooh. For me, Shy Away maybe?
I like the song The Outside. Because I get to flex my front man a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Both in the set tonight?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Well, Josh, Tyler, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.